I am Lisa Pliner, your host, and I have a really fun, special guest. Don't get scared of his looks because he's really actually one of the biggest, nicest teddy bears I know. So, Remo Tulliani, I might have said it wrong, but we'll get back into it, has developed an architect of approaching creating accessories in a very detailed manner. Not only have Donald and I have worked with him and our personal friends, but he has such a unique way of developing and using techniques today with leather, and leather, again, from Italy, which makes his products so fine and wonderful that you just can't stop loving him. We're going to, again, today is also about Father's Day. We do have Father's Days coming up, and what better way for me to introduce my friend that he's got gifts to show. We got stuff to sell. It's around the corner, and his products are fabulous. But so I'm going to introduce you to Remo, and Remo is going to go back and tell us just a little bit how he started, where he came from, and how did he really get into this business? What made you want to become a designer for so many accessories to so many designers out there that you have created with their products? So, Remo, welcome to Over 40 and Living every minute of it.
Hi, Lisa. Awesome.
I know you're blushing. I know we haven't seen each other in a while. See, he's this big teddy bear. See, I'm telling you. So talk to me. Tell me about you. What is it about you that we want to know?
I'm a Libra, happy as can be, living in Scottsdale, Arizona, family from Italy. Where do you want to start?
Everywhere. Okay, so you were living in Italy.
Yep. Well, my family's from Italy.
Okay.
And I found myself in Scottsdale, Arizona at a young age when it wasn't even on a map. And going to school for business. And that was not on my mind. That wasn't in my heart. And creating things and making things and getting to learn how to make things was really where I wanted to be. So that actually overtook everything else. I left it all else behind.
Well, when you were living in Italy, I mean, did you leave at a very young age to come to Arizona, or did you learn, was your family into this, or did you learn anything, or they were just not, and you said, I'm going to just do my own thing because I am Remo?
The only thing I learned from there is how to eat, and that was it. And everything else I learned from here. And actually my relationships with you and Donald, and being fortunate enough to have people take me under their wing and show me how to do things better allowed me to grow. Being a good listener was probably the most important asset that I had going forward coming out of school. And being able to pay attention and being patient was probably one of the better things that I could have been able to pass on to anybody else. Be patient. It will come. Don't try to jump too hard. So I started designing. I started playing, and I want to change the thing about it. That's all I want to do.
It's made you who you are today.
What did you design?
Yeah. Okay, so tell us why leathers is considered the highest quality. I know you use so many different grains and so many different stuff. So tell us why. What makes your leathers so fabulous?
As you know, you can find different leathers, different materials. Even if you were a jeweler, you can find different stones at different levels. We made a choice. Actually, this comes from Donald. This is a true story. I didn't say this. You're asking me why is the leather so good. It was many years ago. How long have we known each other?
A long
20? Long time, right?
Plus.
Long time. So let's call it 20 years. For sure. Let's call it 20 years. And on the early days of those 20 years, I had a phone call from you. You don't know this. And you said, Remo, hey, I need to get a couple things. I need to wear a couple things. I'll be happy to buy them from you. I'm like, yeah. I'll get them for you. Don't worry. And I looked around my showroom and I looked around my shop and my design area, and there was nothing I could give away that was at the level I needed it to be. There was nothing I could give Donald that could have been the quality. I was embarrassed. And it was that moment. I remember how I was standing, the position I was in, to where I said, I need to make sure I dictate the game and not so much the buyers, or they have needs. Buyers in department stores have needs. So you ask where the leather, why it got so good. It actually came from that moment. I never wanted to make anything bad, ever. I had to start at that moment and say, everything has to have a certain level of quality. If I'm going to give it to somebody, it has to be the best. It's a gift, right? And I think I've mentioned that before. If you're going to give somebody a gift, it really has to be special. So the leather qualities that I made a habit of using have to be at a certain benchmark and above.
You say,
it has to come from a certain area.
Okay, but I'm sorry to interrupt, but you say that you wanted to test yourself, and you have dressed many celebrities, superstars, athletes. I mean, by testing yourself, is that how you learned to get better and better? Or did you learn from just dealing with other designers to say, let's try this belt buckle, or let's try this? Because, every designer that you actually sell to or work with, I mean, they all have their own vision that you need to take, let's say, Donald's vision and make it work.
Yeah, you have to try different things, and you have to get better at different. If I were a musician, if I were a guitarist, and I played heavy metal, and that was mine, and then I had to join a symphony. Well, I have to learn the symphony, and I have to be like that symphony that night. And they're expecting me to know their songs. When I work with somebody like Donald, I have to learn what he's trying to do and be Donald. I have to get into his heart for a little while and his mind and where he wants to go, but he also knows what he's getting when he gets me. So I have to bring some things to the table. I have to bring these things that I've tried and the things that I've worked on in my lab and try to experiment with. So he sees some freshness as well. And that's where a lot of that came from, is the collaboration and getting better through that.
I mean, I know when I've come to visit you once before on a project that we were working on, but I mean, I remember just seeing all these belts and then your leather room, which is, I'm telling you, that's God's made of heaven right there. I mean, that's money. But you could just see I just remember how you were so special, like showing me every grain and letting me, because if you don't smell leather, then you just are not a designer, because all designers have to smell leather. But it was like how you were just so in awe and so excited to show me the machines, the tools, the grains, and everything that you have done, and in specialty, even with the beaded work that Donald has done in the past. Well, so you also have something here that how do you make your leathers stay forever? I think you have a special little, or tell us how does one keep leathers to stay forever?
Well, you have to make sure you take care of it like anything else. You have to make sure it's conditioned and it's kept in a nice place, and just love it. How do you take care of leather? You have to keep it clean, and if you have a spill on it, clean it. Make sure it's something you care about, and it will last a very, very long time. And this is a material from the beginning of man, right? This is we wore pelts and all the different things. How we clothed ourselves is in leather, and it has to last a lifetime. It has to take care of us, has to shelter us. And if you take care of it, it'll take care of you. Always. Your footwear as well, as you know.
Right. I mean, I have a picture actually of your leather cream here. So bees butter. Is that what it is?
I love it.
How does one find that? Do you sell it?
I don't find that anywhere. I think too many people use it in use different things in different areas. Too many synthetics. I just love that. That's just a natural. It goes right into the hide, and it just feels great for a long time. It adds the moisture you need and protects it. I love it. I love what they're doing.
So one could just Google it. Let's just say.
Yeah, let's Google it.
Google it. I'm sure you can find it.
Yeah.
But that's
what
but that's what he uses, my friends out there. Okay. When did you have your first break?
Boy, I'm still waiting for it.
Well, I would think it was around the mid-'90s when you went to a store, an Aventura store back then. Does that ring a bell?
Well, yeah.
Am I helping you a little there?
Jeff Schenkel?
Huh?
We talking about the fellas in Aventura?
Yeah, and then what about,
Yeah.
in the
Jeff-
hotels and the, Steve Wynn
Vegas?
Vegas? I mean, you're,
Yeah.
I mean, is that when you finally got your big breaks? Look at you. Look at that smile. He's like blushing. Yeah, I
well,
think I got to
when you're
think
going
about
around-
this
when you look-
now.
When you look back on things that you did and you think, gosh, I didn't know what I was doing, but you for sure took that step forward. I got this. And you look back and say, I didn't have that. How are people looking at me and taking me seriously? But those were definitely moments of, I got this. I'm as prepared as I can be. But as time goes on and you look at your body of work, boy, I had more courage than readiness. That's for sure. Those guys gave me a chance. There's some people that really gave me an opportunity where I probably wouldn't have of myself if I saw me walk in.
Right.
There's no
Well,
way.
I mean, I'm sure they see this big, huge guy walking in, and they're like going, this is a guy that's going to make my belts. He's like bigger than me. I have like a football player or something. I'm like, really? This is what you do? But,
I've always been called misunderstood.
that's exactly the words taken out of my mouth. So, okay, so let's talk. Now we're talking about Father's Day. So, regarding your belts, I mean, is there any one style better than the other? I mean, or is it just a personal touch of the person who wants it?
Yeah, it has to be to what they do, their lifestyle, what coast, weather, what are they wearing it with? I always believed a man wakes up and decides what footwear he's wearing. If a guy's going to wear flip-flops that day, that's the type of belt or accessory he's going to wear. If he's going to wear cowboy boots, that's the accessory, and so on. So it starts with the footwear. This is what we're going to wear. I'm going to wear jeans with it. This is my shirt, and here's how I'm going to accessorize with it. So I believe it's part of the lifestyle, what they're doing, the path that they're going to walk that day. And my job is to do what few others really want to do and accessorize around all those beautiful things that they have.
Do sometimes your buyers or that you work with say, just design it for me and we'll sell it? Do they just let you just do your thing and you can pick out your buckles?
Just give me something. I need something quick in blue. Okay, nothing to go on. No, and you have to do a little research and you have to do some homework and kind of get a feel for where they're trying to go and anticipate it. But it's not. I don't really work in a category that a lot of people put a lot of their time or personnel into. So I think that's what makes us a little special, or has made us a little special. We try to come out with something they didn't think they were going to get, something over the top that maybe they wouldn't have thought of themselves through our experiments.
Okay, so there's another accessory that you do, and it's really all about socks. And what does socks tell you about a person today? I mean, I know for a woman now, like, men wear these colorful and bright, fun socks. I mean, so socks, Father's Day special, everybody, dress your man up. So, I mean, your quality and, I mean, what makes your socks so fabulous?
The fit. And when you put on a pair of shoes, if that shoe brand and that designer fits you well, you're pretty loyal to it. It's got to be comfortable. It has to have a certain feel to it. So our sock is special because of the fit. And when I first started doing it, we were matching shoes with belts, right? Well, when we started doing socks, I didn't want to just do another sock. I didn't want to let's do cotton or wool or mercerized. I didn't want to. I needed a fit and a yarn that was truly their favorite, something that worked and it's comfortable in any shoe, anytime they wear it. That's cool and warm, and it was just a feel good and made them smile when they pulled it out of the drawer. This is my favorite, and that's what we had to do. That was our goal.
When did you actually first started? I mean, belts you started right off. When did you decide to say, now I'm going to add socks. And I mean, today's fashion, I mean, socks, you know, as you said earlier, it's those white tennis shoes and those white bottoms, you know, are kind of our lifestyle today. And then you see these fun, crazy socks of yours. So, I mean, so when period of time did you say, now I need socks to grow with my belts?
It was about 15 years ago. And I had a love for footwear, and I had a love for bags and men's items, but I couldn't figure out how to make footwear better. And I couldn't figure out how to make other items better. It would just be another item, right? It would just be like, oh, we're going to offer this and slap a name on it that nobody cares about. Well, when I came up with the sock, in all the time that we put into making this yarn of this sock, I knew we had something better. And I knew we had something that would fit so great and wash and wear and last that I wanted to move forward with it. And that was a long time ago. And I will probably never get credit for all the time and energy we put into making this type of sock, where other people are just doing a new polka dot, a new stripe. That's not what we wanted to do. It's about the fit. And when we nailed it, I wanted to keep going. I love our socks. I love what we're doing for men. They love them. We get great letters, calls, and it's hard for a guy to fall in love with something like that. And it's
Remo,
great to know that we're making it right.
Remo, what name does the socks go under?
It's under me.
So those the names underneath are just basically the style.
Under Remo Tulliani, yeah.
Right. So, and what price range are they?
About $20 a pair.
And made? Where you
made in the United States. It's an Italian yarn, and made in the USA.
And I cannot tell you how much what you said about fit and quality, because you know that if the shoe doesn't fit, it doesn't work no matter what. And my philosophy was always the problem with people dressing, they forget about the feet, which means they forget about the socks. And what you said, and to me, and when people say my name, they think of a lot of things, but the most important thing is quality and fit. And just what you've been saying about your socks is absolutely, I mean, unfortunately, I don't wear socks. And I haven't worn socks since I left Chicago. And I can't tell you, that was quite a few years ago. But how important socks are today. I mean, it's incredible. And but the most important thing, I don't think anybody really talks about fit or quality the way what you just did. So congratulations.
Yeah, that was the main core of making the socks. And we're limited. Here's what's kind of funny. And people ask, well, why don't you do this? Why aren't you doing little umbrellas and this? Our yarn is so technical and so great in what it is. It comes out of Italy that it won't allow, it looks pixelated. It looks like maybe like a Pac-Man, all squares. So we're limited to the polka dots and the things that we do, but the fit's the most important. I don't want to change that. It really is. I'm not going to compromise how it fits, how it washes, how it goes on, and how it lasts. It has to fit right first. And then we'll worry about putting umbrellas and other colors that people want on there.
I had to show that picture with that umbrella.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What was that?
Darling.
What was that picture?
I just flew in from somewhere with an umbrella. I don't know what that was about. I just landed.
But it was like, look, hey, there's our Remo. Yeah. Okay,
Anyway, Remo, I just want to congratulate you on what you do, because it's an exception to the rule, and you know that in a lot of businesses.
Thank you.
Do you sell more color and more fun stuff today? Because, people want to just really brighten up their lives. I mean, we've all been through so much in the last year and just trying to survive through business. So do you find more colors people are going after for your product? Or is it just a range?
For my products, I'm kind of trending a little bit towards a little bit more being grounded, a little more earthy. They could be good colors, but I want them more strong. I'm not looking for the new purple or blue. I want them. I actually want it to look more pure. A good brown, a nice gray, and I'm looking for something that just has more of an honest color to it. I do ghost write for about 35 other people, and I design for them, and they want color, and they want all this pop, and that's great for them, and it works for them very well. But for what I'm trying to do, I really want it to be honest. And I think some of the more earthy colors right now kind of has an honesty to it and clean to it. I mean, we just left a year of not feeling so clean, right? I want something very clean and honest about our coloring going forward for a little while.
You say that you in a men's sock drawer, should not be too dangerous. Don't think it's dangerous to add color or stripes or polka dots.
No, I think it's great. I think if that's where you're at and you're feeling it that day, put it on. Be bold. And if you feel that you can wear it and be proud of that and the designer that you fought behind, absolutely. There's no wrong answer to it. If you want to wear beads on your shoes, you should. If it fits and it's good for you, that's 100% what we should be doing. Not worried about what our friends are, what they're wearing. What's good for you is the right thing to be wearing for everybody. And that sometimes it just means being reserved, or it means throwing some pop in there and putting the colors you want in there. I think it's great.
Okay, folks, we have another item that we can give our fathers, or a lot of fathers out there. I don't even know what I was going to say.
Fathers, sons, grandfathers.
Fathers, grandpas, sons.
Brothers.
Okay. Let's talk about sunglasses.
Oh,
I kind of picked out my favorite ones that I would actually wear for myself. If you see the picture.
Which one is that?
Huh?
Which one is that?
The 4 ones on the pictures. You see the whatever. So anyway, let's just talk about sunglasses. Now, okay, so we got belts, we got socks.
Where are they made and with the price?
Where are your sunglasses made in price range?
Check it out. I kind of mentioned that I can't make shoes better. Donald made them the best. How am I going to make them better? So I'm not going to enter that arena, right? But there were little design voices. I understand why people want to do side projects. And the sunglasses came about as an extra accessory that I loved. It had every component in there that I work with. It has the metals, right? It has the plastics. It has the frames. And then you add the glass element of the lenses. My gosh, you're adding... I learned so much from our eyewear that I was able to bring that in to our other accessories. And our eyewear is made 100% in Italy. Absolutely. The frames, the nose pieces, the lenses are all made in Italy. Our lenses are hand glazed, actually about 25, 30 miles from my family's town. One of the best lens places on the planet. Make them for us. They're glass and they're 100% UV protection. It allowed me to make something better. The lenses are some of the best on the planet. We kept it here. Again, we won't get credit for it. But you put them on, you will never want anything else. They really are great.
Oh, okay. So what happens if...
I'm sorry. I'm sure living in Scottsdale, sunglasses are probably a little bit more important for testing.
You go blind out here. You leave outside. You need them on right away. You forget them. You lose the rest of the day.
So if they work in Scottsdale, they work anywhere.
They'll work anywhere. Test proven right here.
From you. Okay, so what if someone needed a prescription in their glasses? I mean, how do you work with that? Or you just say, hey, just wear my sunglasses and wear contacts?
No, that's easy. All of our frames are RX available, so you just need to be friendly with whoever does your glasses, and they can put in whatever you need in there. All of them are.
Okay.
Yeah, that's easy.
Any other accessories that I don't know about that you're working on, since we haven't really talked in many years?
I'm working on a couple things. I'm kind of waiting for my feel of maybe ironing them out, but they've been in my cabinet for a little while. I tinker with them now and then, but I do love to. I look at men's bags. I always felt like men's bags just kind of fall flat. There's a couple of guys I like out there. They're more function to travel with, more travel bags, but I want to make a better. I'm a professional traveler, Donald. You know what I'm talking about, right? We've been around the world. You go everywhere. Bags are cumbersome. You lose stuff at the bottom. You got to make it a certain way. I've been excited about trying to do something a little bit more tweaking better.
Okay, we're going to have to let me know so then I can, advertise it or talk about it, in the future of something. So have you, from the beginning of when you started, how much has your business grown? from like where you now to where you are today and say, hey, Remo Tulliani, best, come talk to me, let me work with you?
Lisa, honestly, I've exceeded all my own expectations. I never thought for a second that I'd be sitting here with you. I never thought that this would ever be this real. And have we grown? We've evolved. We've reinvented ourselves, like a lot of people have to. We've grown in different directions, and we've left other paths kind of behind us for a little bit. I think as design, you have to be willing to do that. Some of the old ideas seem fresh to you, but they're gone. And you need to be able to leave that behind. So the reinvention, and you say growth, gosh, it's been a dream to be able to do this and to be able to have the working relationships I have on the levels I have it with. It's been an absolute dream.
Okay, yeah. So now I really want to talk about something that has been a dream for a very long time of yours. You said that you would just write notes and just put them down, and that you said, hey, I'm just going to do it in a book. I mean, let's and I have my copy here. A little heavy, right? I mean, see, I brought this one as well. So I mean, tell me about this book. I mean, you have so many amazing designers. You have so many sayings. I mean, they're all pretty much like a mentor to you of how you got started through that book.
How did I get started? Did I mention I'm lucky? Did I mention that I'm fortunate? When I got to a certain point, I was looking at, how do I know all these folks? How am I lucky enough to be able to work and play with so many amazing people that I wanted to write them down? I don't know if I was forgetting them or they just kept playing in my head, but I started writing these stories down. And I'm not a writer. I'm a terrible writer. And so I went to everybody and I asked, can I interview you? Can you share some of the stories that we had together? And can we discuss a little bit of our history? And can we talk about the things that you want to talk about? And this project took on its own life for me. And how I got started with this was just a big thank you to the wonderful people who have helped me, shown me, taught me, and have been a part of this great relationship that I have, and to be able to keep working and doing the thing that I love. And I was able to put it down on paper with their help.
Now, yeah. I know someone that you love dearly, I mean, was such a mentor, a wonderful person. I think you actually, you and Donald went to, with him. I think Donald was trying to put some shoes on him back in the day, and that's Muhammad Ali. I mean, he was really someone that you loved. I mean, how, hello, sting like a bee, fly like, what is it? Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Yeah.
I kind of fell in that way just because a day before I had surgery, I got stung by a bee. Who gets stung by a bee? The day you have surgery, you can't take anything, which I had an allergic reaction, but that's a whole nother story. But he was really someone that meant so much to you. I mean, how did you meet? How did that mentor come to you, and that you have a beautiful interview in the book about him? So, how did that start?
That started many years ago at a basketball game. If you get to know Muhammad Ali, you get to know the family, and it is one of the most beautiful and interesting group of people I've ever known. And the people around him are just a blessing to spend time with, and to get to hear their words and to learn where they came from and where they're still going. And so being able to having the time and the friendship that I had with the Ali family was really a unique, more than unique, just beyond anything that could be described. And you showed that photo there. I think Donald was doing a trunk show in Scottsdale, and we were all having lunch next door. And somebody said Donald Pliner was signing some shoes. And I looked over at Marilyn and I said, I think Donald's next door. Would you like to go? And we went over there, and next thing you know, getting fitted for shoes. And we spent the afternoon together. And that was really a nice day. A bunch of people that I really loved and care about all together. So it's a bunch of great people meeting each other on the same day. It was really neat to be a part of.
You're on now.
Oh, I'm on now.
He's on now. I got to take a break.
One of the things I think Lisa asked was from the very beginning, and I know I'm going through a certain situation in my own life, and if what you had said about this book, which is absolutely phenomenal, I think, what is it, 2.5, 3 pounds? And there's 17 people that you did. I know Mohammed is 17. But you said you kept up at night thinking that you couldn't go to sleep. You were just dreaming about this. Can you just repeat what you said to us about a few minutes ago, or not a few minutes ago when we were driving?
When trying to put those down and how it was that came about, you start replaying conversations you have with these people. You start replaying, am I doing things right? And the people that work with me, am I doing right by them? So the people that you've admired, you start replaying their conversations with you and the conversations that you liked so much with them. You want to remember them, and you want to tell these stories to folks. And if they're willing to listen, you want to share them. You remember coming up to your showroom in New York? It was always important to have the aesthetics right. It was always important to have the things in the right order. You showed me things that maybe I didn't understand then, but it's, for me today, almost rules, and they are right. The way that you handled the showroom, you were right. And I may not have understood it, but I had to hang in there until I did. And it wasn't on you to get me to understand it, right? So that's one of the stories. That's what's Donald like? What makes him tick? What makes him be able to command a room? And those things kept me up at night because I'm dealing with folks and I'm traveling the world and I'm working with some great different companies. And I want to make sure I'm doing right. I want to treat them the way that these folks in this book treated me. And those were the stories that kept me up.
Well, I know, Remo, just to interrupt about the book, because I remember we went back and forth to do this interview, and I finally was able to sit down with you. And, this was, I don't know if you can see that. It goes on and on and on. I mean, there's like 10 pages. And I had no idea, but the questions that you asked and the things that I learned about myself and going through the book itself, it's quite amazing in your own mind how you think of things. And to me, my most important courses I had in college was anatomy and portraiture, that you could look at an audience, an orchestra pit or a Manet or something like this, and you see the orchestra, and then you have to see the audience. It has to be not a portrait, but a complete anatomy from head to toe. And if your eye stops, then something's wrong. So my showrooms, my stores, and these questions that you had asked me and going through the book, I mean, it was quite a life waking up about myself, but it also means where you are in your life, how important such small things are that create something to be very good and very big. And this whole interview that you've been doing so far with Lisa, I mean, it's so important that people, unfortunately, don't realize what it takes to make a belt, what it takes to make a shoe, what it takes, but more important, what people do go into, like yourself, to make what you do, the quality. And it seems to be a forgotten thing, the word service. I mean, one of the things that I predicated on my stores, on the showrooms, everything was about the word service. And service only works if you know every part of it. I mean, I even remember my showroom, if you didn't, you had to put why do you call it a toilet seat cover? Because it's supposed to go down. But it
still does that.
Anyway, I mean,
He still says that at home.
I realize now how anal I was, but that's what makes people, because you got to be conscious of little things, like you say. And I'm very, your book, for anybody can get it, The Courting of the Kings, and it's 17 incredible people that you did, but the interview yourself. But it's not just an interview of other people; it's an interview of you, of how your mind works, and all the compliments I can possibly give you. So
I'm going to interrupt you too as well.
Okay.
I mean, Remo, you do take a project to the next level. I mean, that's who you are. People should not just like, oh, this big teddy bear, but he's not that. You are that. You're as sweet, kind, gentle, but don't mess with me. If you're going to mess with me, you're going to lose, because I know what I'm doing. I've been there, and I've started from scratch to make myself who I am. Who are some of the other really well-known people, if you can mention, in the book that were so interesting to you to help make this book come alive? I mean, they're not only
all of them are.
No, just name some other people.
Right,
We got
right?
Donald,
They're all different.
Yeah. Who else did you use? Who else was really?
Some of our favorite. It's like an album, right?
Right.
It's like a music album, and if it was the same sound all the way through, it'd be boring. So I've got hard, soft, easy, and they're all different. But one of the guys in there that's just kind of is dynamic to me is Victor Lieberman, and when he says something, it's bam, it's right there, and boy, it's timeless. He'll say something, and going all out means going all out, and he says that, and it doesn't mean I'm in. You can't just say that stuff, right? You're going all out, you go all out, and he lives that way. And when you read his 14 pages, that's Victor. And anyone who knows Victor knows that's true, and he lives by those words. So he's a huge impact and still active in the business, and just another great guy, just a huge guy. He's the one who grabbed me young also and said, "Here, you got it all wrong. Come with me. Let me show you a few things." And I've known him many, many years.
Besides all your accessories, you're going to tell us where we can find you on, or call you, or email you, look you up. Can people purchase this book as well?
Yeah, it's on our website. It's at Tulliani.com. It's Amazon, the first big book retailer out there, still going strong, right? Isn't that their original product, with books? So you can find it there, and if you have questions about it, ask. I got one here. I look at it once in a while, and I think about all the little parts that we put into it. And you think about Donald and some of the other guys and the detail. Each one has their own artwork. If you look at it, it has their own color. It has their own flag. And I kind of modeled the book after the Palio in Siena. And I look at these things, and it's not that I forgot that I did it. Sometimes I'm like, wow, I really took the time and every page has different artwork in it. And the detail of every page, 456 pages. And, today you brought it up again, and it just makes me kind of wonder if I would do it again. I don't know.
Maybe you should make it a movie or documentary. You never know.
Who would star Donald?
Well, we're working on that too. So, I know.
Sure you are.
Okay. Besides selling in the States, do you also sell internationally? I mean, do people find you? I mean, you have what are you over 400 stores or more today? I mean,
we got over 300 in the States. We're going to kind of see who's made it through all this, but pre-COVID are over 300 for our brand, and then we have a nice European distribution. We got a great guy out there, and they love our product. They love our socks back in Italy, believe it or not. And they don't have anything like it. At first, they thought it was too thick. They like those thin, 200 thin. You can see the leg through the sock kind of through. No. They've fallen in love with what we're doing, and we're selling over there now.
Okay, so what is your life outside of work? I mean, what do you do? I mean, how do you have time to actually do anything? Because you're always working. So, I mean, when you have that chance, who is Remo outside of Remo at work?
I do rely.
Yeah.
I rely on the kindness of my friends. You know, I travel a lot of places, and I've got some really beautiful folks nestled in different parts of the world. And I look forward to those trips, and I look forward to getting out there and seeing them again. And especially after this is all done and everybody's comfortable, life of Remo is going to continue. I'm going to get to the streets of Bologna, and I'll be back in Hong Kong, and I'll be traveling back out there once again and seeing all those folks that I've missed for such a long time, and spending time with these people and learning about what they're doing, their lives, and what's interesting for them is interesting for me. I do love that.
Okay.
And if we can pick up a game of racquetball once in a while or a game of basketball out there, we'll do that as well.
Okay, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
I hopefully still doing what I love. Hopefully still doing what I do. You know, people say, well, you're going to, yeah, you know, I'm 49 now. And if I'm not, I guess, you know, there's no car. I say there's no car I could turn the key that'll give me the joy of coming in and creating something and working on something and tinkering with it. There's nothing that you can buy that gives you the same joy of creating something from scratch or pulling an idea out of the sky and actually making it real. So I hope I'm still doing that.
Donald, do you have any questions you want to ask him?
That picture we just saw, did you see that?
Okay.
Was that a hat I was wearing? What is that?
No. Where's? Can you put
that one? There.
Can you see that picture?
Yeah. My hair's not real. This isn't mine.
Right.
It's a snap-on.
How long ago was that?
Maybe 2 months ago.
Okay.
I think I was 15 in that photo.
Right. Now, exactly.
Remo, is there anything, you know, going through everything, things that you might have done if you had a chance to redo it again, as far as it being a mistake or something, what you learned?
I would have. If I would have done it again, I probably would have been. I would have been more. I would have been more solid in my decision making. I think I did listen to a lot of people, but when you listen to too many, it becomes static and noise, right? How many trunk shows have we done? How many appointments have we had with buyers? What you should be. You know, Remo, you know what you should do? What? You know, I wish I would have stayed stronger on what I was believing I was making at an earlier age. I would have done that differently. But you don't know that until you get through it, really. But so I couldn't have really changed it. I had to go through everybody telling me what they wanted. They're either gone out of business or out of the industry now, right? So their advice wasn't really that good. And so I wish I would have just been a little bit more
do you
not forceful, but letting them know what I'm believing and what I see.
Do you have a partner or a manager behind you? Or is it
Do I have a who?
A partner or a manager, or is it just you?
No.
You know,
No.
I mean,
It's me.
You know, for me, because what you just said about sometimes listening to too many people, and I know myself that I always had people that invested, but they really couldn't care if we made money or lost money as long as they were on the train ride. And it's something that you said that's, you know, I wish that I had conversation that someone would have guided me instead of just shooting from the hip. And what I was really, and it's very strange. I had spinal surgery in August last year, and it was a 12-hour surgery, and I have 2.5 rods in my back. And I'm seeing the surgeon next week, but thank God I recovered very well. But the surgeon said something to me, and I want to find out what he said. He said, you know, when you do a shoe collection and you see it on the runway, do you ever see something that you saw wrong? And I said, yes. He says, well, I saw one thing I did wrong. I want to find out. I want to find out what that was, and I think that's things in life that we got to find. You know, if we don't listen, but the problem is there's too many people that say things, and sometimes we don't listen to ourselves, and just
we don't listen to ourselves.
Well, I got to kind of wrap
put.
this up now, because I know you and we can go on, and I guess somehow you're going to have to come to LA to visit, because I'm not going where you are. It's too hot. But anyway, I mean, Remo, thank you so much. I just for taking the time out and just seeing you again, was kind of really special. And I hope out there with our viewers that, please, because I am one to see all of these items. I know what he puts the time into and how he creates them, and it's just so special. So again, Father's Day is around the corner, and these are just some of my favorite picks that I would choose for anyone out there that wanted to give something special to anybody. So again, we're going to have Remo, you're going to tell us how to find you one more time so everybody can see it. Okay.
Really easy.
Okay.
I'm too accessible. That's the problem.
And so again, I am giving you kisses. I miss you. I miss my big teddy bear. And he's not as scary as you think, but he's just big. But don't get him mad. I promise you that. Don't get him mad, because you don't want to see that. But anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for just reminiscing with Donald and myself. And we had some good days. We had some good times out there. And don't think you haven't seen The Last of Us.
No. This
all
is the
about
beginning of the next phase.
So
That's right.
We're all reinventing. Yeah. So I love you. And folks, thank you for watching Over 40, loving every minute of it. And I am the host, Lisa F. Pliner, with my husband, Donald J Pliner, joining me today, and our special guest, Remo Tulliani. I hope I said that right. I don't know. I can't speak Italian. You think I would after all these years?
Better than most. Hey, you got to throw one of these in there.
I don't speak Italian. Right. But I'm trying. I don't know what's around my throat. But thank you. And until next time.
Grazie and ciao.
Grazie and ciao.
Grazie mille. Ciao. Love you both. Thank you.
Love you.
Ciao.